How we doing, Pickleball World? Today we are going to chat about the 11SIX24 Monarch control. I have the 14 millimeter. This is a wide body paddle. Again, 14 millimeter. This is a blue Kevlar on it. It is a fully Kevlar paddle. Face. We'll scrap that bit. But anyways, moving forward with this paddle. So first and foremost, I did my normal wide body modifications. I did the lead on the top. I did the lead on the bottom corners. This is, if you've watched any of my prior videos or the podcasts, this is the modification setup I've been doing for pretty much every wide body paddle. And I have found that it works the best for me personally. That is the beauty of lead tape, is you can always tinker and do to kind of what you want with it for the paddle for your personal preference. Those are the preferences I like on my wide body paddles. I'm starting to notice I like them even on my elongated and hybrid shaped paddles as well, but they're a little different for me on those paddles versus the wide body shape. But this in particular, I find it just opens the shape up. It allows the shape to kind of get the things that most of the time a wide body paddle is missing, which is that little extra oomph of power that you would get in an elongated or hybrid paddle per se, just because it's a little bit longer in the face, as well as just more stability, and it helps improve an already really good, usually twist weight and swing weight on the paddles, just because wide body paddles come in really good specs. So with that being said, let's talk about this paddle. So first and foremost, this is a fun touch I really like that they did. So they did the green crown for this one, whereas with the all court, it's the gold crown. And I just think it's cool that the case has the little kind of green to lime green crown and the butt cap has the crown. I think it's way better than just doing the logo of your company every time and writing your company's name as much as you can on the paddle. I'm fine with some subliminal marketing, but there's no need to kind of go in above and beyond with it. And I think this was a really cool touch from 11/6/24. And I did want to mention that. So first and foremost, I have not usually been someone to like 14 millimeter paddles. I have historically been a 16 millimeter person. With that being said, I really like this paddle. And it took me a while to figure out this paddle. That's the first and foremost I'll say. I've had the paddle for well over the normal time that I would review a paddle, and this is why my review's coming out a little later than Jim and I's other Monarch series reviews, as well as kind of other 11/6/24 stuff when we got that stuff back in the summer. So here's what happened. So I tried this stock, which, as you guys know, with 14 millimeter paddles, they're really hard to play stock just because they're really, really light. So if you're someone that's used to a paddle having a little oomph, having a touch of weight, but nothing crazy, then you got to add a little bit of lead. Sorry, can't speak today. But so I added some lead. I did the sides first. It was nice, but I just still felt like I was missing something. I did a big bar on the top, then cut off some of the sides. It was all right. Then I got a little too heavy. Went with a little bit different than what I normally do. I went with 3 inches of 2 gram lead on the top, and I did about 2 to 2.5 inches of 1 gram lead on the bottom corners. Now, normally I'm a 1 gram lead or 1 gram tungsten tape kind of guy. I don't usually mess with the heavy stuff because I like a low swing weight and I like a low static weight. But the 2 gram on the top really opened the paddle up for me, really gave it that extra plow, especially in particular at the kitchen line and at the kind of, we'll call it the transition zone going into the kitchen line where, kind of maybe you do that kind of Russian pop plow shot, as we'll call it, kind of like an aerial drive, in particular with a two-handed backhand. But yeah, so really enjoyed the paddle. Again, I think my final static weight for it was like 8.5-ish. I think it was like just barely 8.5 static weight. Brought the swing weight. I think it was around like 112 or 113. I have to check again. But I'm pretty sure it was around those numbers. Um, I really enjoyed the paddle though. It gives you a lot of added pop. And I know, like you guys, I watch other reviews as well. I know a lot of the other reviewers, this was the one of the series they didn't really like. This is actually, I will say, I still think the All Court is just the better overall paddle of the series. But I think this thing is way better than the Jelly Bean personally. And that's not to knock the Jelly Bean. The Jelly Bean is a great paddle and it has one of the best price points in pickleball being, under $100 with code DDOG_pickleball at checkout. I think it's like $90 with the code. That's insane for a paddle price in today's market. So I think that's completely awesome. And I don't want to knock that paddle by any means. But I really liked the pop that the 14 millimeter in particular of the control gave me. Whereas the 16 millimeter, it was plush, it was nice, but it just felt like every other 16 millimeter paddle. It didn't feel all that special. But the 14 really felt like you gained a lot of offense, in particular at the kitchen line, and it really just felt like a great offensive paddle. And so I actually, at the moment, am going to be maining the 14 strictly for mixed doubles. It's more of an offensive strategic decision. I probably would for men's too, but it just depends on who I'm playing with and what kind of, role or game style I'm trying to play. I really also like that 16 millimeter all court. So I think I'll keep that one for men's for now. But, yeah, it's September. It's about mid to late September here. So at this moment, this is my new main for mixed doubles. So I'm super excited about that. Couple of cosmetics piece I wanted to shout out. Gray edge guards, love them. I think we should only do the gray edge guards from now on because they look awesome. I really like the blue Kevlar look. It actually looks a lot better than the red Kevlar in my opinion. And I will say this though. This thing is a ball dust gatherer. You go out and you even dink for like 10 minutes with this thing has a lot of ball dust on it. So definitely be ready to clean it, using your proper pickleball cleaning supplies. And yeah, other than that, great paddle. I think it's a good offensive paddle at the 14 millimeter range. At the 16 millimeter range, I find it more of a plush control paddle personally. But again, at the 14, don't be fooled by that control on the paddle. This thing is definitely on the more poppy to powerful side of like an all court ish paddle. Yeah, again, a little bit of a quicker review, but I know you guys, we've already covered a lot about these paddles through the pods and through some of the other reviews. So I just wanted to share this and yeah. All right. Well, thank you everyone. Stay safe and play lots of pickleball. Peace.